Hello everybody, I'm Peter the Book Lover, and I've been reading a lot of books for a while, and I finally came up with my list of my top 100 books. This is my list of the best books that I enjoy, and this is from 60 to 51. Let's look at these books. Hello everybody, I am Peter the Book Lover. I like to read a lot of books, and one of my goals was to come up with the list of my top 100 books, and I finally came up with this list. It took me quite a few years of reading a lot of books, and I finally have a list of really awesome books. All these books are incredible, and I'm going to enjoy talking about them. This is from 60 to 51. Let's talk about them. But before I talk about these books, I want to thank everybody for coming here. You're really great for giving me your time. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you. Okay, let's just get into it. We're going to start off with number 60. And this one came out in 1903. And this is by Jack London. And this is a book called Call of the Wild. And what this story is about a dog that's living with a family. And the family is a well-to-do family. And one of the workers in the family one of the workers of the family winds up kidnapping this dog and selling this dog. And this dog winds up being on a sled team. And he's out in the freezing cold in Alaska. He's dealing with the cold element, and he's dealing with other wild dogs on this quest that he goes on with these other dogs. And in the beginning of this book, he's introduced to the violence of the other dogs. There's this dog named Curly that shows him an example of how dogs can be really violent towards each other, and he learns a lot from Curly of what he sees. And then later on, he winds up meeting this character that befriends him. And this is an amazing story. It's an incredible adventure, and I really enjoyed this a lot. Call of the Wild is number 60. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. Okay, number 59 is a book from 1898, and this is written by H.G. Wells, and this is the classic War of the Worlds. And what this story is about is aliens invading Earth, and what the human beings on Earth have to dealing with this invading armies of Martians. And this is an incredible story. I really enjoyed this a lot. There's a lot of crazy things that happen on this. There's these tripods. They could disintegrate you. And this is a story told from a first person's perspective. Yeah, and there's an interesting part of this story where he meets the curate, which is like a priest, and they're kind of hide together. And it's pretty interesting on how they react to each other. Fantastic book. I really highly recommend this one. This one is great. War of the Worlds is number 59. Okay, 58 is a book that was written in 1884. And this is a book written by Mark Twain. And this is The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Now, this is a fantastic story about this young man that's kind of not really an orphan, but he's kind of like an orphan, and he's on his own, and he winds up going on an adventure with a slave. And this is a really great book on how him and the slave actually become great friends, and how they go on these adventures together. And it's really incredible. They also meet a couple other characters, and their interactions with these other characters are really cool. And this is a lot of fun. This book is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Especially the slave Jim. The slave Jim is an incredible character, and you're going to love him by the end of the book. This is a great adventure. Number 58 is The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. If you have not read this book, I highly recommend it. Okay, the next book is a book that's from 1969, written by Kurt Vonnegut, and this is Slaughterhouse-Five. Now, this book is told like kind of like time travel, but it's not really time travel. It's this person that kind of jumps around in different time periods, and this book is very funny. It's very unique. He actually, there's a part to where he goes on another planet, and he's like an attraction in the zoo on this other planet. And this is a very comical book. It's really funny, and I really enjoyed this. Also, it's kind of serious because they talk about World War II, and it's kind of weird on how he jumps around in time. Now, maybe this is a dream. I do not know, but it's kind of like time travel. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a dream. But this was a very entertaining book. I really enjoyed this a lot, and if you gave this a shot, I'm pretty sure you'd love this because this was very entertaining. I was into this book quite a bit. Okay, number 56 is from 1932, and this is written by Aldous Huxley, and this is Brave New World. And what this is about, this is a book that's about a society that's a dystopian society. They actually made things like really great for the people, but it's a little bit too good, and nobody gets to grow in this society. It's a unique society to where um, people are hooked on this one drug called soma, and if anything gets bad, you just take this drug. Um, they're actually trained to not settle down and get married. Instead, you're supposed to sleep with as many people as you want, as many people as you can. Um, People are organized in ranks, and nobody could grow, and everybody must stay in their place. And at the same time, there's an outside world that they don't deal with in this world, but they go on vacations to this outside world. And they go on vacation to this outside world and wind up bringing back somebody from this outside world that is connected from the advanced society world where they take soma. And they actually call him a savage, and they actually are really fascinated with this person. But this person goes a little crazy because he does not like this upbeat society and this advanced society. To him, he wants everything to be back to normal. Very interesting book. This is a lot like 1984, but this is quite a bit, quite a few years before that book came out. Very interesting book. I highly recommend it. Brave New World. That is number 56. Now, number 55 is from 1939, and this was written by Raymond Chandler. And this is a Philip Morris novel, and this is called The Big Sleep. And this is pretty much a detective novel, but a fantastic detective novel. I can't remember the case. This has been a long time since I've read this, but I remember reading this twice, and I really enjoyed this story. There's a woman that comes in, and he gets involved with this woman, and also by it being called The Big Sleep, that has some meaning in the book later. And I really enjoyed this book a lot. This was a lot of fun. I remembered really loving it when I read it, and I really enjoyed it more the second time. And this character, Philip Marlowe, is an amazing character. And I look forward to reading more books in this series. As a matter of fact, I plan on reading The Big Sleep again because I really enjoyed this. And that is book number 55. Now, number 54 is from 1962, and this is written by Anthony Burgess. And this is A Clockwork Orange. Now, this is a dystopian novel. This is set in a future. I don't know exactly what year it's from. And this is to where the youth are really wild in this book, you know. And there is this language in this book that makes this really interesting, because when you first read this book, you don't know what a lot of books you don't know what a lot of words mean, but after reading this again, you start to learn the language. And once you really start understanding the language, this book is very entertaining and it's a very interesting book. It really is. There's also a movie by Stanley Kubrick that's really amazing. It's very close to that. And this is got a lot of crime in it. So this is not uh, a very nice book. There's a lot of things that might be unpleasant to a lot of readers, but if you can handle a little bit of unpleasantness and a character that's very wild but very young, this is a very, very interesting book. And the most interesting part is the language and learning the language because it's like a half English, half Russian language, and you'll understand. It's not that hard to figure out after time, but it's a very interesting book, and I loved it. A lot of fun. A Clockwork Orange is number 54. Okay, number 53 is from 1942, and this is by Albert Camus. And this is the book called The Stranger. This is a French book, and this is kind of a unique story to where some guy that's not really a criminal winds up getting involved with the wrong person and winds up getting himself in a lot of trouble. And this is written, I guess this is translated from French, and it's a very interesting book. It's a very simple book. It definitely feels like this was written in the 1950s, and it's got a great ending. I really love the ending of this book, and it's very simple, it's short, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm sure if you gave this a shot, you'd enjoy it too. Very entertaining book. The Stranger is number 53. Now, number 52 is from 1883, and this is written by Carlo Collodi, and this is The Adventures of Pinocchio. And this is a fantastic book about the puppet Pinocchio. This is a piece of wood that comes to life, and when he comes to life, he's not a nice puppet, but he learns a lot of lessons in this book, and very interesting on how he learns all these lessons in this book. And the way that he gets drawn into a lot of trouble. This is a fantastic book. It's a lot like the cartoon. If you're familiar with the cartoon, you should enjoy this a lot. This is very fun, and I enjoyed this a lot. The Adventures of Pinocchio. That is number 52. Okay, and 51 is the last book I'm going to talk about in this video. This came out in 1949, and this is by George Orwell. And this is the classic, 1984. And this is, I mentioned A Brave New World. Brave New World came first, but this came afterwards. And I think George Orwell actually does a better version of this type of thing. This is a dystopian novel. This is a different future to where there's always three countries that go at war, and the government really controls the people. They watch the people. You can't escape being watched all the time. They watch you all the time, and they train you to hate the other person, and there's a leader that you're trained to love the person, and if you want to go off course, you're going to get in a lot of trouble, and they're going to train you to love that person. And they also have all these organizations to where they got funny names to them, like the Ministry of Truth is the people that are, their job is to lie, to actually fix the truth to where a lie is truth. Like one of the things is 2 + 2 is 5. And if you disagree with that, you're going to get in a lot of trouble. Now, the thing about this book is that when I first read this, halfway through this book, I was not getting into this book, and I thought this was a book that was overrated, and it wasn't a really good book to me. But the thing about it is, once you get to the ending of this book, that's where this book really shines. The ending of this book is amazing. It blows you away. I love the ending. I'm not going to give you anything about the ending. I'll let you be surprised, but the ending is amazing. I want to read this again pretty soon because I really enjoyed this book. This is a fantastic book, especially the ending. You're going to love the ending. Okay, so that it is. There it is, from 60 to 51, and these are my top favorite books. I've got some great ones here. If you give them a shot, I'm pretty sure you'd enjoy these books. And that's about it. If you enjoyed the video, please do me a favor, hit the like button. But if you don't, that's fine too. But everybody that hits the like button is like giving me a gem. I see them as gems and I love them. Now, if you have any comments, I'd love to hear from you. Just leave a message in the comment and I'll respond to you. I really appreciate the comments a lot. It means a lot to me for you to give me your opinion or disagree with me. I appreciate that as well. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe, especially if you want to see the rest of the books. This is the halfway point, and the books from here on are some really amazing books. Some of these books are just out of this world. Some of the best books you can find. And so come back tomorrow because I'm going to do this in 10 days in a row. And this is the beginning of the year. I hope you're enjoying the new year so far. And that's about it. I am Peter the Book Lover. Thank you for coming by, and I will see you in the next video.